Hello and welcome to another Culture Foolishness. This is season 2, episode 3. I am Creed of Exodus Studios and ArchitectsMars.com and my co-host Eon.
Coach Tamara Simone, your favorite life coach's favorite life coach. If you don't know, now you know. Baby, baby.
2 weeks in a row. Wow. Oh wow.
I can't
Change.
get him to not say it, so I just say it for whatever.
Rolls off the tongue. So this episode is about adulting during the holidays, 21st century edition. And that underlying part, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, yeah, because it's different. It's different from when we was kids. We are the new adults and we are different. So the holidays are very different too.
I feel like there's definitely some similarities to what our parents and grandparents, how adulting looked for them during the holidays. I feel like there's definitely similarities in that. However, because indeed it is the 21st century, then we do have to address the differences. And what I guess kind of what makes our experience different from that of, decades in the past.
Well, that and I don't even want to just like solely focus on the 21st century edition in terms of just the differences in terms of time. It's just if you're an adult now, nine times, I mean, you were born in the 20th century, so our experiences just being adults, period, is just A, different from then, and B, just a lot of us live far away from home. It's just like a lot of different things I feel like that while there were like that in the past, I just feel like it's happening more. I feel like it's more people like leaving home and leaving their hometowns and setting up shop in different places and stuff like that.
There's definitely been more people migrating. I mean, just since COVID, just with remote work on the
Yes.
rise, then it's like you no longer have to be bound to where you live to work a certain job. So that definitely created somewhat of a great migration over the last couple of years. And just
Mm-hmm.
navigating that, especially during the holidays, is different. But not even outside of that, because I don't want to totally exclude people who are still at the crib, like still in their hometown,
Right.
like 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. Let's just say, let's take it back to, maybe teenage, adolescent age. You wasn't cooking. There's a different dynamic. Like it hit
Yeah.
different when you are now cooking
Yeah.
Thanksgiving dinner, when you are now hosting Thanksgiving dinner. Before you was just showing up with your appetite and
Yes.
your smart mouth.
It
Because
was
I know
so
I
much
was.
fun then. It was so much fun. But just as a person who likes to cook, it is like a funness even to be able to cook, share the food with people, have that kind of like, the bragging rights of being like, oh, I got the best such and such, or I know my food is good because all these people is tearing my stuff up and you seeing the proof in front of you, which a lot of times you don't get to see that besides maybe one person that you're cooking for. It's literally a group of people just like, who made the peach cobbler? Who
Exactly.
made
Who
that?
made that? I remember my first. Who made the yams?
Yeah, yeah. I remember. I saw your face. You was definitely like No, I've recently been going to like our little Thanksgiving gatherings out here in LA with the homies and stuff, and I've been doing like the mac and cheese, and I've been getting
But even
some.
outside, even outside of that,
Mhm.
was Friendsgiving a thing back in the day? Because I
I
don't
don't
remember
think I
people really
heard
talk.
of it
Like I
too
don't
much.
like we
No,
had family that was out of town. For one, they pretty much came in town
right,
for the holidays.
right.
But in the event that they couldn't, they either had a quiet dinner at the crib or maybe they didn't. I don't know. But you really didn't
Right.
hear like, no, just a bunch of us who didn't get a chance to go home. We're gonna come together and do a Friendsgiving. Like I feel like that's new.
That's more recent, and then it creates because a lot of times it's not even replacing the actual main thing. It's just
In addition to.
another thing, right? Because a lot of times the Friendsgiving might be on the Saturday after Thanksgiving or the weekend before or something like that or
Yes.
whatever. So it's just that is a newer addition, I feel like, as far as it being branded. I feel like maybe some variation of that was probably happening back in the day on a smaller scale, but it definitely wasn't like branded. And I don't think it was even happening to the extent of now because of people living in different places, not being with their family, or they traveling and only gonna be with their family on that one day only, and then the rest of the time they are in the other city with these other people that they have made friends with and want to fellowship with them and can't do it with them and the family. Like before, it was everybody lived in the same town. I could invite you over. You could stop by
Get you a
from
plate.
yours, and then I might
Mm-hmm.
go over to yours right quick. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like
know,
it.
that's another thing.
Yeah, I missed that.
Like, what? Like, are people still out here like hitting multiple cribs?
Yeah, I mean it
Okay, because
depends because out here, like the people I know that was from here and family here, oh, they definitely was talking the same way we were talking back in Chicago. Like, oh, I'm about to go to such and such house, such and such, to
okay,
get a place. Something
okay.
now that ain't going nowhere.
Again, that's just not my experience with the holidays nowadays.
Mm-mm.
But I had
You
to
don't
kind
hear
of
people
create.
doing that in Houston?
They probably do, but I just like I don't because for one, a lot of the people that I know that I'm friends with aren't from here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're either doing a Friendsgiving together or and then it's just like that's just what it is, or like it's just on some calm, intimate stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna pop over here with y'all for a little bit, get me a plate and play a hand of spades and get on up out of here. Like that's not really happening again in my circles and in my experience.
Are you talking about currently with like when you go to Friendsgiving,
Yes.
it's
I'm
more
talking it's
it's
just the people who come through, it's the people who come through, and then you just kind
yeah.
of do your thing with those
Oh,
people.
absolutely. Because the one that I went to, it was supposed to be more people, ended up not, and it was totally fine. The people that was there, we would just enjoyed our time, did all stuff, played cards, kicked it, listened to music, and it was funny because, excuse me, me and my friend that we pulled up, who was like, "Oh, we got work tomorrow. We should only stay for a little while, whatever." Man, we was there very late and left very lit. And one thing I'll say, kind of like on the positive side is um having Thanksgiving in these different environments. It even when you have Thanksgiving or holiday gatherings with just different families, different people kind of show you different ways that people celebrate from maybe your family, so it'll give you a different perspective. I know for ours, a little bit more subdued, a little more chill when it comes to certain things. Besides, nothing. Let me not be that way. I'm not even gonna
Like
say
be
what I was gonna
nice.
say.
Like just be
I'm gonna be
a
nice. I'm
nice
gonna be nice. I'm gonna try. Uh, But as far as like going, having, the stories are like, oh, Uncle blah 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 was drunk and said this. Not too much of that. Maybe
too much.
somebody was saying crazy stuff, but they definitely didn't need
It was
alcohol. It
they
was
weren't drunk
just
saying it.
no, they were definitely sober. So I don't know if that's
Right.
worse or not. But but now, like, even just going to people's houses, like at first, like when I was living in Chicago, just like, oh, they y'all drinking, you drinking with the moms and the dad. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, I could drink. Oh, you want me to drink with you? Oh, this is okay. So that was different for me. But now, like being adults and you just around your peers, and it's real like we just made Thanksgiving. So it's basically like this is what
But when we
um
drinking while we cooking, not too much though, because you still
yeah,
need
because you
to
still want the
focus.
food to be good,
But you
right?
want a nice look, like you need something to get you through all of that. Then
Well,
with
it's
it, then
it,
we definitely drinking after the fact. Like it's much different. I can say that for sure in
well,
that respect.
it's more it's it's different, but it's more so like it you know what it feels like? It feels like we are, especially, and this is, I think, for me, especially, just we're in a different space. As you're being married, I'm still single out here in the wilderness, whatever. But the people that I was with, also single people, and we're of this generation, millennial and Gen Z, kind of like overlap little pocket is what most of my friends will fall under, and it's feels like we are like kids that got in the house with no supervision because we just because like we got all the stuff that we supposed to have. Like we got a turkey, we made a turkey, we made a things, we made all the stuff. We listen to the ratchet music, get super drunk, eating Thanksgiving food. It was like a party instead of like what you would be used to in a family gathering per
See,
se.
I'm clearly married because I was sipping, not too much because I was
Hmm.
cooking, and I was listening to 90s R&B. I was getting that dressing in order to some Never Too Much.
Well, I did shift the music to like more of that tone at the end of the night because we was trying to
It
wind
gets a
down.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I can
no,
see
we
that.
was definitely getting it to some other stuff prior to that. That was definitely not 90s R&B. It was very current. Definitely a lot of Kendrick, a lot of Squabble Up and TV Off on repeat.
Yes. And so I definitely think that's a interesting dynamic, just where we are. I also, without bringing down the mood, I also want to kind of get into, we're at an age now where the holidays gets a little difficult, whether you're in your hometown or not, because certain loved ones have transitioned.
Mm-hmm.
So when you comparing it to childhood, then maybe it's not all of the aunts and uncles because a couple of them then passed on, and for us, our grandmother passed away, and having the Thanksgiving specifically without her, I know it was definitely a tough transition for me, especially since the first Thanksgiving I had without her, I also had away from home, and I believe you too.
Mm. Same.
So, so like that dynamic of you go from like families around, everybody's there, and drinking or not or no drinking, it's still like you see all your cousins, and it's just this big meal that you all you have to do is show up and eat it, and maybe when they go around the table and ask what you're thankful for, you say, "Oh, I'm thankful because I have my friends and my mommy's here and blah blah blah, whatever." But like, this is a different dynamic than when you're like, "Okay, what was her recipe? What did she put in it?" Because now you're still trying to have your loved ones be a
Familiar
part of
things,
it,
right?
right? Familiar things, and have your loved ones be a part of it, even if they're not here in the physical.
Yeah, that part. Or I was just thinking about my first Thanksgiving way. I was like with the family of the person I was dating at the time, and it was okay. Everything seemed cool, and then I remember a certain point we started arguing about uh Fife Dog being good and Tribe Called Quest, and of course I was the only one defending it, and it was weird to me because I was like, dude, he's like dead. So he was already had passed on, and they like shitting all the time. I'm trying to defend it, and I was like, this is awkward because everybody was looking at me crazy, like I said something wrong. I was like,
Because you're not used to being around people that would even say something like that for
Exactly.
real.
So I'm very passionate about that type of stuff, and I think they weren't used to somebody being passionate about stuff like that. So they was like,
So
"Why
they're
do you
like, why can't you
care
just
that
say he
much?"
whacking? Let's move on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
very weird. Very weird.
it's definitely a thing. Like it's a thing for sure. And I know for us, we're harping a little heavier on Thanksgiving because that was kind of the holiday
Mm,
for the Reed family. Like
right.
Christmas was like, oh, okay, you know.
Yeah, it always kind of felt like that with Christmas, only because I feel like there's so many of us. So
Thanksgiving was
it
the
was
main event for
the
us.
one that everybody was gonna come to one place, everybody gonna see each other because Christmas was more individualized for each individual
Family.
family. They might, I remember a couple years, it was like some Christmas dinners where people came over, but
Yeah.
not every year for sure. It wasn't every year, it would be like something like, oh, let's do a Christmas. Like every once in a while, grandma would be like, oh, I want to do a Christmas dinner. And of course, if she say that she doing one, they come in, but that
But
one
with that,
frequent.
even with that, even if she sang it,
Some
there
of
was a
them didn't come because they
because
did
I
have
was
their
just
own
here.
things going on, right?
And it's like I was just here for Thanksgiving. I can, like I don't live here, so
Well,
I
it
can't
would be
quite
more
do a
so the people that was in town
yeah.
mostly, with that too, like Auntie Lane not gonna come back, and she just,
Yeah, she's like I've made my trip for the year. And it was cold then, and I'm sure it's colder now. Um, so yeah, it's just a different dynamic for sure between the two holidays and at least our experience. And something else I want to kind of get into, um, and I know you definitely feel this a little bit more than I do, given your line of daytime work.
mhm.
Black Friday did not hit this year, and I don't know if
Oh,
it
it's
hit
super
last
weak.
year.
It's been weak
Like
for a while. It's
there
been
was
weak
a
for a
time,
while.
there was a time when you left the crib like, okay, it's 9 o'clock, y'all. Got to pull up to this Best Buy and camp on out outside. So I'm gonna take a couple plates, you know what I'm saying, to go
Hmm.
get me through the night. I never did that, but
No.
like I know people who did, and like it was a thing, like it was a real thing. Now man, I was out on Black Friday, and really, I wasn't out on some let me catch some deals type stuff. I
Yeah,
was just
out.
out on some, I have to do this anyway, and I'm
Hmm.
off.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
as I'm going to these stores, and I'm like, okay, let me mentally prepare myself for the havoc because it is indeed Black Friday. No, like it wasn't any busier than if it was just a normal Friday.
Right. Oh,
No,
it,
no lines really. Like it was no sales for real. That's probably why
no,
I wasn't
that's
that busy.
why. And that's the thing. So this is what has happened in that regard. So pretty much stores have oversaturated the deals to the point where really the deal that's going to be on Black Friday, they didn't put it up a week and a half in advance, and it ain't really going to get no better for Black Friday. Yeah, that's the deal. So
Mm.
you could have got it when they first set it up, and that probably was better because by the time Black Friday comes, a lot of that stuff is going to be sold already at the same sale price, and it ain't going to get no better. So I think,
Plus, go ahead.
well, I was gonna say like, and this is even worse that they're doing it because they don't even have as much overhead. I feel like the online things that for Black Friday and Cyber Monday have much better deals, and you don't even have to go to the store. Like I got 40% off of some stuff on Clark. Shout out to Clark. I gotta unbox a video for y'all soon. Um, Literally on stuff they never put on sale. Like that's what you want for a Black Friday deal. Like, oh, this is a deal on something that never be on sale, and it's a substantial discount. Like I'm gonna say 20 to 30, 40, $50 minimum. Yes, now I'm looking at it. But a lot of these things aren't, they're not really enticing. So People
and,
aren't excited.
and
Nike's online deals for Black Friday were good too. Like the online, the Gap did some good stuff. That's who was busy. That actually did like 50, 60% off. All these other people, like, I don't know what you was trying to do.
and let's just come clean, people. We all got TVs.
Oh,
Put these groceries on sale, okay?
man, could you?
Like,
Black Friday gas sale. Like, come on.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and so, like, when you're looking at all of these things as a collective, it's like, damn, like, then your childhood becomes even more nostalgic.
Yeah.
Like now it's not only just, you know what I'm saying, you kicking it with your favorite cousins. Allegedly, some of y'all will go out and have a little smoke session before y'all come back and eat. That wasn't our experience, or at least not
No,
mine.
actually.
I was like,
Actually,
well,
no, not even mine.
yeah, I was like, I
So
don't know about that. But allegedly, that was what was happening for some. And shouts out to y'all. That sounds like a very beautiful, bonding moment with your family. So, being able to hang out with your cousins and like catch up and just eat some good old food and be with your people, and then go out there and catch them sales the next day. And low key, it would just kind of drift into the whole weekend, really. Like it was the whole weekend would be a vibe. It would just be Saturday wasn't as good as Friday and Sunday wasn't as good as Saturday. Like it would be that
mhm.
type of thing. All of that is gone for real. The only
Yes.
thing I'll say is that thanks to the good old internet, um, I feel like we just get to see a lot of different people cook stuff a lot of different ways.
So the food has gotten a little bit better because we've taken from everybody's shit and learning from everybody on a larger scale. Like, what's that girl's name? There was some Caucasian girl that was making the macaroni and cheese, and people, I think her name was a T. She on TikTok,
Oh, I
but
don't know her.
people was
I don't.
talking stuff about her mac and cheese recipe because I guess they were, some, black people offended because she kind of, you could tell she has some seasoning to her. So I'll just say it that way. She has a black boyfriend who was very happy that she cooks the way she cooks and seasons foods correctly. So she's kind of down, as far as like being adjacent to the culture. So the way that she made the mac and cheese is like kind of like how we would make it, honestly, but she, changed a few things. And from what I saw, and it's funny, what she did, one of the main things was like she uses different type of macaroni noodle that has like the ridges and it's like more of a coil.
Okay, yeah,
Why
yeah.
I go to it's like Capi Cola or something. I forgot the name of it. I'm
Yeah, yeah,
probably
yeah. I
said
know
it
what you're talking
wrong.
about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Literally, all this talk about this. I go to my friend's house, have some of her mac and cheese. She used the same one and been using it for years. And
Yeah, I was like, I don't attribute that to her. Like I've been seeing that.
no, but people was acting like she tried to act like she invented the shit, I guess. And it's like
I mean, it's mac and cheese. Like it's been people
I
been
don't
doing
even
it
think
in
that
various.
she was doing that. I just feel like people be projecting their own shit on stuff. That's really what it is.
I mean, yeah. I mean, hey, and for me, I pretty much have my stuff down as to how I'm gonna do it, regardless of
Hmm.
what I see. I'm still curious, like, oh, okay, that's how you do yours. That's cute. Like, whatever. Um, y'all people that's putting eggs in y'all dressing, y'all weird, but whatever. Don't
I
at
don't
me. It's
even
not up
get
for like it's not like it's like me
how does
saying
that
y'all weird
even
is a
work?
fact. It's not an opinion. Like y'all weird. Like it's a fact and we could just move on. Don't at me. Um and people's like, my grandma, your grandma ain't did that. And don't you dare put that on that woman grave. That woman is trying to rest in peace. Like that's not cool.
What is
Um
their logic for having the egg
to
in
bond it
the
together. But I'm like, I'm sorry, what type of dressing you making that it's all runny and not bonding together? It bonds together anyway. It don't matter. We're gonna move past that.
dress?
Um definitely another thing is that with social media, then now I feel like people do up holidays more. They make certain things more
Hmm.
elaborate
Yeah.
because, like, I mean, we've been seeing these matching pajamas for a few years now, and niggas was not matching pajamas like that back in the day. Maybe a few were for the sake of the
Yeah.
family photo,
Right.
but like not just all willy nilly like it is now.
If somebody get me to wear matching pajamas, y'all just gotta know
Oh,
that
stay
that
tuned. Mine is coming. We
that's
still looking for ours, but we gonna do it.
well, you found somebody to get you to wear them. I'm just saying, if I
Yeah.
find somebody to get me to wear them motherfuckers, then you know that person is different and special.
Y'all
She
gonna be
may
cute
be
too. Y'all gonna be
listening
cute too.
right now. Maybe you're listening now. You there. You a different one. But
I'm here, y'all gonna be cute. I'm here to tell you. I can see it now. Little reindeer. Anyway. um,
whoa, well, before we get out of here, as far as just the episode, it's been a new development in the entertainment world that I can't get off of here without talking about for a second, because it's something that this is kind of like the other shoe that we've been waiting to drop for a long time, since a lot of allegations have been thrown around with other people, but finally got your boy Jigga Jay-Z. Somebody finally said something about him, being involved with the foolery.
I believe they call her Jane Doe.
Well, for now.
For now.
Because the first Jane Doe, they didn't already reveal who the fuck she was already, I
Yeah.
believe.
Hmm.
But it's looking bad for your boy now. I understand that because I'm gonna look at it more from a logical standpoint. Two things. Number one, why is somebody 13 to 14 years old around these grown ass men? That's always my number one. Number two, I know this era. I know what they were rapping about. They were doing a lot of this stuff, and i.e., going super drunk, being high, all of these things. In these younger times, people wasn't as sober as now. Who's to say that this person wasn't put in front of him and he was completely shit faced already and wouldn't even and shoot, I went to school back and when I was going to school, it was girls at 13, 14 years old that looked like grown women. And I'm sorry they did. They did. In a way. Not completely, but if you're not fully there, it's easier to be like, oh yeah, you just one of these, oh, you just young, whatever. So who's to say that wasn't a factor? There's so many different things, but also could have been aware and the shit could be true. And this could be a whole nother conversation. I don't know, man. What
I
you think?
also like to present, and again, I have no dog in this fight. I am not, neither here nor there, but I'd also like to present for consideration, and y'all don't at me at this either. But just because someone is alleging it doesn't mean it happened.
Yeah.
Like that's the third thing. Like one, why the hell was they there? Two, it's possible that if it happened, it wasn't intentional or whatever, or it could have been intentional, or four, it could have not even like I don't like how as soon as someone accuses someone of something,
Then it's a
oh, it happened.
floodgate. Then it's a
Oh,
floodgate of
it
other
happened.
people after that too.
Well, if it's a floodgate because someone was like, oh, finally someone had the courage to step forward, I get it. Like, no one wants to
Mhm.
be first. Let's just be
Right.
honest. But I also just don't like the whole if someone accuses you of something, that means that you did it, especially since we're supposed to be in a country where you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. Not someone throws an accusation and automatically whatever they say you did, you did. Like, because God forbid, if someone alleged something towards you, you wouldn't want it to be some nigga talking about, well, maybe he didn't know. Maybe he didn't do it.
But that's why it's so detrimental for people to be so on top of the stuff around them to keep their image on point, because soon as that stuff is said, it don't matter if it's true or not. The perception of you was always different, and it take a lot to change it. And even then, it's hard. Like, perfect examples, I was just talking about it earlier. Kobe had his situation. Ever since that time, I don't care what happened after that. No matter how many people who maybe was off him came back, it was always gonna be that strong, percentage of people that was gonna be like, fuck him for life. I know people after he died was like, so good, a rapist is dead. Like literally. So it's when something is said, then
But
it's
again,
hard
like
to,
I
come back
understand
from
that,
stuff.
but that doesn't make it right. Like you
Oh
should
no.
not be able to just, especially if it's, let's be clear, if it happened, then speak your truth. I will never sit up here and just say like, oh no, just no. Speak your truth if it happened. But if that didn't happen and you just mad because a nigga curved you or he didn't call you no more, or like something like minuscule or minute in the grand scheme of things, so you just like, I'm gonna say this happened, like, and then when it ends up not being true, it don't even matter because this person's reputation and everything is like tarnished and diminished.
Mm,
Like none of that is okay.
no. I mean, if it's a lie, then absolutely. Well,
And that's why when it happens to people for real, then people are funny, like they
they
slow to
don't fully
believe them.
believe things because it's people who do be bullshitting, and it mess it up for the people who actually had something happen and they report on it. So it's so many different layers to it. I mean, even with this, it's like, you know, he obviously made a statement, saying like, if it's not a criminal thing, then it's not true, whatever. But that's what Diddy said, and look, he in jail right now. So
This is
it's
a conversation for another day, people.
yeah, it's definitely more to it. But I wanted to just talk about it for a second before we got out of here, just because it's hot off the presses. But that was Culture Foolishness for this week. I am Creed of ExodusArchitectsMars.com. I'm a co-host, ELs.
Coach Tamara Simone.
And we are out, people. Peace, peace.
Peace, peace.